Hey everyone! Today we're diving into a review of Meghan Markle's Netflix series, and I'll be honest, I watched every episode so you don't have to. Now, I didn't come in with any strong opinions about Meghan, but after watching the show, I definitely walked away with some interesting thoughts. The first thing I'll say is that the whole experience felt a bit off. It was like walking into the wrong house. You know, when you show up somewhere and you immediately feel like you don't belong. That's exactly how I felt watching Meghan's series. It's as if I accidentally walked into her private space, and I could tell she wasn't really thrilled about my presence. Sure, she wasn't rude about it, but you could feel the discomfort, like she was trying to make sure I stayed but wasn't quite ready to welcome me with open arms. Let's talk about the content. There's this segment where Meghan's showing us how to make homemade dog biscuits, and I have to say, it felt odd. She's making a simple batch of dog treats with peanut butter, honey, water, and some sugar snap peas. Which, okay, fine, it's a wholesome thing to do. But here's the thing, it felt like I wasn't watching a celebrity show. It felt more like a random hobbyist showing off what they were making that day. It was all a bit too down to earth for someone with such an elevated platform, you know. Then we get to this bizarre moment when Meghan's casually putting her ingredients together, and I'm just sitting there wondering, is this really happening? She's mixing up some peanut butter and pretzels, and honestly, it just felt like I was watching someone moving pretzels from one bag to another without any real purpose or depth. Like, is this what you do with your celebrity status now? Next up, Meghan shows us what to do with an abundance of citrus. Apparently, if you have too many blood oranges, which, let's face it, who doesn't have a surplus of blood oranges just lying around, you can dehydrate them and give them as gifts. You know, like those lovely little homemade gifts that only the most authentically connected people can give. But let's be real. Are we supposed to believe that anyone's out here making dehydrated blood oranges for friends? Maybe if I'm on a farm somewhere, but this felt more like another attempt to show how down to earth Meghan is, even though it seems a bit too forced. Then we have the infamous Sussex party scene, where Meghan is trying to create a fun vibe with these homemade snacks. She's serving up peas and basil that she grew herself. And I have to say, no offence, but that's just not how I'm going to leave a party. If I go to a party, especially one hosted by someone with Meghan's influence, I better leave with something more than peas I could grow in my backyard. I want a Butterfinger in my bag. Something a little less wholesome and a little more indulgent, you know? It's not that I don't appreciate healthy living, of course I do, but there's something about the whole scene that just doesn't feel relatable. When you're dealing with the royal family's celebrity power, I expect a little more than a DIY garden party where the highlight is a plate of basil. So what's the problem here? The problem is that this show is trying so hard to make Meghan seem relatable, but it just doesn't land. It's almost like she's trying too hard to show how normal she is, how down to earth she can be, and that's where it starts to feel disingenuous. The content is too focused on mundane, everyday tasks that don't really offer any insight into Meghan's life or her thoughts on the bigger issues she claims to care about. Instead of showing us who she really is, it feels like a forced attempt at authenticity. At the end of the day, I think the Netflix series misses the mark. Instead of offering anything truly captivating or insightful, it just feels like a long, drawn-out commercial for Meghan's brand of authenticity. She's trying to appear humble and relatable, but the whole thing falls flat. Whether you agree with Meghan's intentions or not, I think we can all agree that there's only so much basil and peanut butter we can handle. That's it for today's breakdown. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on celebrity content that's worth watching, or in this case, worth skipping.